good to know that it appropriately set expectations via its trailer.
That's right. That's right.
Gladiator 1 with worse CG, maybe.
Hey, spoilers! We're live.
Whoa!
With worse CG?
What's up, fanboys and
about it.
fangirls? What's up to another episode? Welcome to another episode.
I like
Of
what's
the-
up to another episode
What's
better.
up to another episode of the What the Fanboy
What
Show?
up, episode?
What up, episode?
The episode is now a recurring
Guest star.
guest on
Yeah.
the Dying podcast.
Wow.
Spoilers for later this year.
I'd like to think that this podcast is euthanized rather than like slowly crippling, dying.
Really, what we're doing, we shot it.
This is
and
a
we're just
mercy
letting
kill.
We're just letting it
We're
bleed
old
out.
Yellery in our podcast.
Yes. We shot it and we're just letting it bleed out at this point.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's why we're reviewing like 3 things today, so crazy times.
I was like, wait, we are? And then I saw Arcane on
And like 2 of the bigger movies of the year.
Yeah.
So this week we'll be reviewing Wicked and Gladiator 2. Glicked, I think is what they're calling it.
Glicked.
Glicked. My apologies. Glicked. And we'll hop into that here in a second. But Luke, you got some trailers for us?
I do. Let me open my notes. This one I think it came out last Tuesday, so I've had to watch it like 100 times. How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh.
The live action cinematic event.
I have questions about this for you guys.
Um,
What do you think the budget is for this movie? Do you think they gave it a decent amount of money?
I would say 100.
DreamWorks.
I said 70.
I bet it started at 70 and it probably ballooned to 150.
Oof. Woof.
You bring it back, Gerard Butler. He ain't cheap.
I say
That CG doesn't look half bad either.
the dragons look great.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
It doesn't look pretty though.
No,
Dude, the scene where he's meeting Toothless in the trailer, like, the light looks so artificial in it. It's like, ugh, why does it look like that?
Like the 2 scenes we've seen, or I guess 3. I guess him on the hill, sitting on the hill, then in the arena, and then I'm meeting Toothless. We're doing the hand thing. Yeah, they don't look great.
They're lit so poorly.
They're lit so poorly.
Like him, it's like purple in the Toothless scene. I'm like, why? Why is it purple? It just, I don't know. It's weird. I think the dragons look good. I think Toothless looks way too close to the animated.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I probably won't watch this anyways, but I don't like it. It looks way too close.
This is a weird, man. Every movie's unique, right? But this is a weird, unique case of DreamWorks was making this movie, and they asked the director of the animated movies, "Hey, do you want to make this movie?" And he was like, "No, we don't really need it." And they're like, "We're making it anyways." So he's, he came on to
I hope they don't screw it up.
we're gonna try and do it right, but it's
As right as they can.
have we ever seen a live action version of something made by the same director, like a prop?
I don't know.
Well, it was going to be Avatar, and they left.
That's right. That's right.
They bounced and were like, "We're gonna do our own things in animation."
Which is who does Avatar? What big studio has them? Is it Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Based on from what I've seen, it just looks too shot for shot. I hate shot for shot things.
He did have a press thing, and he said it wasn't.
He said it wasn't, but
everything they're showing
until I see it, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. So I don't know. I am not that excited about this. My daughter is hyped to the max.
Bet, yeah.
So we'll go see it, and I'll probably enjoy it for what it is. But
I enjoy every movie I see with my kid.
I would much rather. Yeah, that's true. I would much rather have this trailer come out and been like, "What is this?" And then at the end reveal be like, "Oh, it's How to Train Your Dragon." What? I don't recognize it because I think it's okay for adaptations to be different.
Take liberties, baby.
Make it R-rated.
Make it an R-rated.
Kill everything.
Yes.
Even just Gerard Butler's back.
Yeah.
And to hear his voice and see his face, but it's not like the super wide animated version. It's just a normal guy. It's
yeah.
just
Mm.
don't.
Yeah, and Dana loves
Like
How to
it.
Train Your Dragon, and every time she watches a trailer, she's like, I hate this so much. And I was like, oh, I've never actually heard you not like something so obviously.
Yeah.
It really is the artificial look of it, though. That it's
It looks,
the most
yeah, it looks so bad.
polarizing thing.
Just,
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's to hoping it's good, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a June movie, so that's a good sign.
Fingers crossed.
They're
Hopefully, we'll
confident.
at least introduce new people to the animated movies because those are all fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure the music will be awesome. Like, all three of those movies have
Great, music.
great soundtrack. So,
Yeah, that main theme hits, man.
yeah, it does.
Like, even in the trailer, like, the main theme hits, and I'm like, ooh, that's good. I likes that.
I'm curious to what they do with the first flight scene.
I'm sure they're going to copy it one for one.
I think it will be because, like, how do you top something that's perfect?
That's the coldest, most neutral take I've ever had. Everybody's gonna have that take. They're gonna add nothing and subtract nothing from it.
Yeah, probably. Which might be the right thing to do for that scene, that particular scene. But, anyways,
Next up,
next.
How about we'll just go straight into another live action retelling?
oh boy.
We got a short little teaser for the Lilo and Stitch live action. It's just Stitch on the beach.
Smashing
Smashing
sand
sandcastles,
castles.
yeah.
I think Stitch looks good. That's about it.
Yeah.
I hate that it's the same movie. Like, I'm not motivated to watch this at all.
The trailer is bad because all it does is show off Stitch, and it doesn't tell me what this movie is. I know we talked about it's the same movie. It probably is again, but like I want to see. I don't know what I want to see with a Lilo and Stitch remake. But the trailer didn't do anything to impress me.
Yeah. It's super short.
Yeah.
It was like 30 seconds, which I appreciated at least.
It was but there wasn't anything story wise there.
No.
It was just
Showing you
look
Stitch.
at our main character.
Yep.
Yeah. And he does look good.
Yeah.
So I'll give him that. But although, is Stitch supposed to be furry?
So I asked that question to Dana.
Because he's an alien and he doesn't have a fur texture in the 2D animated art style.
Right. I think
But they do take him as a dog.
Yeah.
Then that's where I'm like, okay.
Dana and I had this exact conversation today. Because we saw it and I was like, he's furry. That's weird.
I'm really curious to see just kind of the other aliens.
Yeah.
Like you have the whale guy who's hunting him, the scientist, and then the nerdy one. I guess they're both scientists. Would be nerdy.
They're both nerdy.
He's like a
but
violent scientist and a nerdy scientist.
yeah, I'm really curious how
Oh, we gotta find the dog!
anatomically similar they have those two be. I don't know. Like again, just have fun with it. Like make it its own thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They won't.
make it R-rated.
It's a first contact film.
Are
about
they gonna
Stitch
have?
taking
Are they
over
gonna
the-
have the original cut where they have the
Twin Towers.
the plane going by or crashing through a building?
Dude, that is the most wild story.
Right.
They had such a quick turnaround on that. Man, have you heard about this?
No.
So there's a sequence where they're flying the big jet and they
Like they fly through mountains.
9/11 happened, and that was originally 2 buildings, and they're like, we got to change this right now.
Oh no.
So yeah, they changed it to mountains.
Mountains very quickly.
Holy cow.
The Gen Zers would love it if they change it back to buildings. Dude, I'm around Gen Zers. There are way too many 9/11 jokes.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's crazy. I don't understand it, but... Anyways. Do we have anything that's not a remake?
We have a sequel in there.
Oh,
or
yay.
2.
Bad Guys 2.
Yeah, this trailer.
Oh, yeah.
I like this trailer.
This is before the Wicked. We saw this before Wicked.
I think this looks awesome.
Yeah.
That's
I
a lot
love
of fun.
the first one.
I've not seen the first one.
It was a lot of fun.
The Bad Guys it's a great franchise. And I say this is only the second movie, but there's
Like a whole
a Netflix show.
there's a whole
books.
series of books.
Yeah,
There's like a ton of books.
they've done a really good job of expanding this into something that's accessible for a lot of kids in a lot of different places without it just being, hey, we're gonna try to make $1 billion. Like, turn around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is the goal. They're a movie company.
Money's always the goal.
Yeah. The weird makeout clip at the end of this trailer caught me way off
My
guard.
theater thought that was really funny.
Dana and I
Yes.
both were like, "Ooh."
Claire
Why
was
you
just
eating
like,
so mouth?
Claire was just like, what? And then Stephanie was like, in the wild, snakes eat birds. She's like, who?
Good save, Mom.
But these
Good
ones
save.
are in love. Oh man. How about another animated movie? A lot of these are animated, actually. Elio?
Oh
That's a
yeah,
new Pixar movie.
I didn't watch this trailer. I saw some like stills from it though.
First Contact
yeah. I haven't seen this new trailer.
Pixar movie.
So Luke, you're gonna be the sole voice of.
So it's a
You're the
kid,
decider.
kind of a loner kid, and he wants to go to space, and he wants to meet aliens, and then aliens show up and take him.
Yeah, and they're like, take us to your
That's all you
leader,
gotta do is
right?
what?
And
He's like, I'm
"It's
the leader of
me."
Earth.
That's fun.
I think it'll be really good.
Nice.
I mean, it's Pixar, so I don't really have too many doubts.
Yeah,
But
they have a good track record.
yeah, finally we get a sci-fi Pixar movie, man. It's about dang time. Have they done a sci-fi?
Buzz Lightyear. Is Lightyear considered a?
I haven't seen it. That one doesn't count.
It's gotta
They
be.
didn't-
It's gotta count.
They didn't want to make that. They were forced to make that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And they put zero effort into it.
An original sci-fi.
Yeah, an original sci-fi.
I actually think Lightyear looked good.
Visually?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look good. I agree with that.
Yeah. So I was
It's
impressed. by it.
not a good movie in my mind, but
Well,
it
what's
looks
that-
pretty.
What's that other one? Where they're on the back of the seat of the giant sea turtle. Is that a Pixar or is that Disney?
Sea turtle.
Moana? Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, hold on.
Luca?
Nope.
It's the only one I can think of that's by the ocean.
I like Luca. It's a good movie.
I thought it was okay.
Pixar movies. It was kind
They
of
ride a
sci-fi.
big turtle in Avatar. The lion turtle. Homie casually just rides on the back
Was
of God
it
for a bit.
Detective Pikachu? Because they're on back of a turtle in that too.
Maybe it wasn't Pixar. Maybe that was a Disney.
It was Pixar Chew.
Is that the sea monster movie on Netflix?
Teenage Kraken.
No.
Oh.
What was
Shark
this-
Tale.
Animated movies.
Dude, I hate that movie.
Strange World.
Oh, I never saw.
It was
that
a,
one
it was a
either.
Disney. It's not a Pixar.
I mean, they're basically the same now. At this
Well,
point,
I know,
even
but-
visually.
That's the one that had.
It's
like,
kinda
it didn't
steampunk
do well in.
sci-fi.
It did like really bad in box office,
Yeah.
right?
Wasn't
Yeah.
that peak COVID?
Yeah.
That was one like they didn't promote or whatever. Like it had like a whole bunch of drama behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Disney.
I'm glad it looks good.
There was a new trailer for Mickey 17.
I didn't see this.
there was.
I didn't watch it
didn't
either
see
because
it.
I just heard everybody talking about how it's the exact same trailer, and they're like, "Did they release a new trailer?" So I
That's
just didn't
fine.
Watch it.
Thumbs up. I like the first trailer.
Still excited. Glad that it got moved to.
April.
Am I glad it got moved to April? I think I'm glad it got moved to April.
I think there's
Yes, we
like
are.
glad that it was moved because it's not a January movie, but
Yeah.
not because you're seeing it later.
Right. I want to see it sooner, but at the same time, maybe it
Knowing
has
that
better
they're
chance
confident.
Of,
Kick
yeah.
off blockbuster season.
Yeah.
The last one I have is Sonic 3. I
Oh,
still
yeah.
think this actually looks good.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
No, Sonic. Yeah, Sonic.
Shadow's got his gun.
I gotta watch Sonic 2. I've still not seen Sonic 2.
Me neither.
So I need to watch that.
I thought the first one was fine, so I just went and saw it with you. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure, just because you asked.
I think
and I was
you,
bored.
Dana, and I went.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think we all went.
I never.
I'm
remember
just
if I
glad.
went
I'm
third
glad
with
it's
you.
finding success. Like this franchise, it's
That's a
finding
good thing.
success, and it seems to be producing better and better films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've heard the second one's a lot of fun.
yeah,
So I'm looking forward to watching it. I'll watch it before 3's in theaters.
I still think they should release the cut with the super ugly song.
we're yes. I think they're getting better and better because they're introducing more and more of the hedgehog characters.
I can't wait for him to go
Like,
to another
it's-
universe with the ugly one. There. He has to fight the ugly version of himself.
Also, like, I don't know what the second one is, but this one isn't a road trip movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, the second one they what's his name?
Knuckles.
He fights Knuckles or
No. Who's the
Robotnik?
No. The human guy from the first one.
James Marsden.
James Marsden.
Olive Garden, bro.
I was gonna say Olive Garden too.
They sideline him. He goes to a destination vacation in Hawaii.
Oh, nice.
So he's just not there for the entirety of the movie until like at the very end when they have the portal. They usually rings the portal around and place it, and So it's really just it stops being this weird like Alien on Earth road trip movie, and it becomes, hey, we're just doing the video game things.
like a
became-
kid's superhero
It's
movie.
much more like a kid's superhero / video game movie. And we got our little adventure, and we got our little side quests, and
In this one, Shadow's going to kill children.
Yeah.
Kill humans by avenging a child that might have died.
yes.
Make it R-rated. I mean, he has a gun. Come on. Let's get that rating up to at least PG.
That and his little
Bump that
boots.
up.
Keanu Reeves about to kill it. He did sound really good in this trailer too. The first time he spoke in a trailer, I was like, "Yeah, it's Keanu." This time, I'm like, "Yeah, it's Keanu," but he sounds a little better.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see that performance.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately curious about it.
Yeah.
Yep. That was my last trailer. Unless you guys have one that I missed.
I don't think I have any others. Really pushing the R ratings tonight. Yes, every night. Always pushing R ratings.
I just wanted to see something different.
Bump it up.
Give me a PG Gladiator.
Oh, we'll talk about Gladiator here in a minute. Okay, so let's chat about Wicked for a little bit.
Dude, no one mourns the wicked. No one puts a lily on their grave.
Luke, do you want to...
It sounds way better when it's sung by a full cast.
Yeah. You want to sing its praises here for...
Oh, sing its praises?
Dude, there's
Yeah.
some Wichita love
speak its
in
praises.
that movie. Desi,
Oh, yeah,
Desi
Oakley.
sang in
She's
the,
in the choir.
She's in the choir
Yeah.
for it.
Yep.
It's pretty neat.
Very, very neat.
Yeah, I'll sing its praises. Well, I'll speak its praises. I will not sing.
Disappointed.
You didn't write
Hashtag disappointed. I give your review 3 stars.
Dude, I don't give a flip.
You didn't write a composition to perform.
No. Yeah, this is my favorite movie of the year.
Oh wow.
Wow. I knew you liked Wicked. I knew you loved Wicked. I am thrilled that an adaptation became your favorite movie of this year.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
I just, and like, listen, I don't even have, I've been really struggling. I've changed my review on Letterboxd probably 10 times.
Oh my gosh.
I've been like 4.5, 5. And it's like, well, I do have nitpicks. And like, I think I gave Dune Part 2 5 stars. And I'm like, but I like this one more.
Mm-hmm.
These are my internal struggles.
Yeah.
But like, sure, Dune 2 may be a better film. But I would rather sit down and watch this one. It means more to me. I just love the music. I love the story. I love the characters. I've been waiting so long for this movie. I think when we started this podcast back in 2017, they were trying to make this.
They were talking about it. Yeah.
They've been trying to make this since like 2012.
Yeah. And it's never worked. And then
Until now.
until now, and we've got half of it, and it was incredible, and I loved every second of it. And yeah, now I have to wait a year.
Yeah. Hey, at least
To
it's only
finish
a
it.
year, and you know that it's like they're not gonna bump that date because
Yeah, they
they've already
shot
filmed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
which
nice.
is great.
It's a little bit like that Infinity War Endgame where it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
go.
It's quite a bold move to do as well on your first one. You're just like, boom, part 1 immediately. Rather than, making one complete story and then continuing. They were like, yeah, we're breaking it up immediately. I just think that's pretty crazy.
I mean, I feel like two of my reservations going in, one of them was they cast Ariana Grande, and I was super nervous that it was going to be too pop star.
Mm-hmm.
And I was nervous about that. That's gone.
Yeah.
Because she's awesome.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was like, we're doing a part 1, part 2 for money? Are you serious? I feel like they totally earned every second of what they gave me. There's a lot more depth to it.
Knowing
It didn't feel long.
Yeah.
So now I'm excited to see what they add to 2.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah, because there's a lot that still has to happen.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the?
I haven't seen it, but
musical?
I know what happens.
And you haven't seen the musical.
It's Dana's favorite musical, but no, I've not seen
Same.
it. She listens to it all the time. I've avoided listening to it because I knew this movie was coming. I've listened to like bits and pieces, obviously the big ones, but I had never heard anything in between. And I loved it. I think it's great. I gave it a 4.5 on Letterboxd. My written review is just yes. Period. I didn't need to add anything there. I do have some nitpicks, or I guess it's really one nitpick, and I won't talk about it here because it's kind of a spoiler.
Yeah.
But it is a very well done adaptation, and I think all of the musical numbers are good. I think performances, sans 1 or 2, are really good. I think it's a pretty movie. I think it looks really good. Yeah.
I want to talk about that for a bit. Because I've heard so many things about the way this movie has looked. And I think I've finally just figured something out. Every theater needs to upgrade their projectors. Because I've heard it's too dark, I've heard it's too bright, and I've heard it looks good.
I thought it looked good.
I thought it looked good.
The only thing in my theater I didn't like is we were in the main auditorium at the Warren, and the 2 lights on the wall are reflective.
Oh.
And so I could see the characters' reflections moving on that, and it was really bugging me because every now and again
It's a very theater-specific issue.
Yeah, it would like pull my eyes over, and I'm like, that's nothing. Why do I keep looking at it? But every time I see movement, I look.
Like, I saw somebody talking about how it's so ugly and they can't see anything in the movie. And
that's
I'm like,
interesting.
This is your theater's problem. And like we've talked about our theater not having great sound.
Yeah.
Specifically in like Nolan stuff.
Yeah.
It's like kind of wish they'd upgrade.
Yeah.
It's 14 years old because I think ours wasn't built in 2010. But and then for the longest time it was, why is this movie so like pastel and bright?
Yeah.
And like I'm watching it and I think it looks good.
Yeah, I thought it looked good. I didn't have any issues with it. I mean, clear use of the volume in certain spots, but I didn't think they used it poorly. I thought everything. The biggest thing I have with volume shots is like it doesn't feel like there's space. That's where I always struggle with it the most, and I didn't feel like there was much of that in this. I felt like anytime they were using it, I didn't feel like everything was crammed into the shot, which is where like a lot of the Disney Plus shows go wrong with it. I think another good example is the Batman. They use it really well, and it's very spread out. I think this did a pretty good job of that as well. But yeah, I thought it looked good. I didn't have any issues visually with it. Yeah, I love the use of pink and green throughout. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. It is. It feels like a musical, like a stage. musical.
You're the anti-musical one.
Kinda, more or less.
You're the. I don't. What's in between pro and anti?
I'm pretty neutral on musicals.
Yeah, not a big musical guy.
But I'm not gonna rush out to them. But I also won't say no to watching one. But my natural disposition is shifted away from musicals.
Yeah.
That said, like you were talking about, music is all great. I mean, these are songs that have stood the test of time for what, like, it's been on Broadway for 25 years or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So like,
long time.
We know they were good.
They said.
And the performers are incredible. Ariana Grande and
Cynthia Erivo.
Cynthia Erivo
Yeah, absolute money castings.
killed it in both performance of vocal performance for singing, but also just in their acting. They have great chemistry together.
Yes.
They have great chemistry with other members of the cast. You know, at the halfway point of this, when it really turns up, is, you know, it starts getting popular. Like, it's when it really starts having fun.
That's when it goes.
It's when it goes, and it just never slows down. I have some like minor cons that have to do more with pacing. Part of it is like the musical nature of it. It feels like it has to have this prologue. Like, I just want to kind of jump into the action. But like, how do you start Wicked without Wicked? Like the musical, like the theme number. You have to have that. You have to have that intro in Munchkinland. Like, from a storytelling perspective, I would want to cut that out because this is a movie. It's not a musical. That feels like a very stage play thing to do. But it's a great song, and it's
necessary.
And it's necessary. Like, yeah. I get it. I get it. If you're not willing to sacrifice certain elements of this, which is really what it is this is an uncompromised, an incredibly not completely, but an incredibly uncompromised retelling of this in the medium of film, while still being very, very true to the original. The music, not the book, musical.
Yeah, the Broadway.
The book that they made this off of, based the musical off
very
of,
different.
is very different.
Yeah, very different. Dana just tried to read it recently.
Oh,
she didn't make it all the way through.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Based on what I've read,
I kind of want to read it.
I do too. It sounds really interesting.
Like, morbid curiosity is kind of getting to me.
Yeah.
And this was my first full, like, now I've seen half of Wicked, right?
Yeah.
Like, I had not seen anything. I had not listened to anything. And, like, I guess I just don't realize how much depth the World of Oz has to it, outside of, you know, the basic story of the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, man, I'm very interested in more.
Yeah. When it comes to the look of it, I think for the most part, I agree with you guys that it looks fine, and, you know, what you were describing, I think, is mostly theater stuff. There were a couple of sets I wasn't entirely impressed with. I thought the Munchkinland for the opening number was really weak. Like, it just felt like I don't know. It felt like a stage play set, which I'm sure fans of the musical, the stage musical, would be like, this is amazing. Whereas I'm like, why do they have a staircase to nowhere in the middle of their town square?
I didn't even notice that, so.
It's like the thing she comes in on.
I got you. Yeah.
Right?
It's her landing. It's her
little landing zone for the one
pad.
time Glinda is going to come in. And some of the outside of that, like when she runs through the little thing into the field, and then there's the
cliffside.
The cliffside. Like, I didn't think that looked great. Some of the foresty stuff with the lion, that felt very volumetric for me. But the school and the Emerald City, incredible. I thought both of those sets and the CG extensions of them were wonderfully done. They looked great. They had great character and life to them. It really felt like a world that extended beyond our main characters, which is always pleasant. It's something I think, we'll talk about this in a minute with Gladiator 2, I think Ridley Scott does really, really well, which is making the world feel bigger than the story that it's telling.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, there are other students that we're not going to ever interact with, but we see them, you know, or what's happening in the city as they enter the Emerald City, and there's things happening, and yeah, it's musical, so everyone kind of interacts during, like, the song numbers, but for the most part, like, they're going about their day. It feels lived in. It feels real.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also thought the monkeys looked great. Was a little concerned about them being, you know, complete CG characters, but they worked really well.
Both movies had CG monkeys in them.
You're right. Well, those ones in Gladiator were kind of scary.
Scary, fake looking.
Yeah, I do. I want to go back to Ariana Grande specifically.
Yeah.
because I remember when she was cast, and I remember very vividly Luke's concern. And I don't, we don't need to go back and dig it up, but I remember thinking I wasn't too worried because I had heard that she could do like classical stuff and had done really good with it, and like they very quickly, like kind of like what you said,
Like it's also her first movie.
yeah. Well, and I was talking with Dana about that. Like my concern was more in can she act?
Yeah.
Because she hadn't acted since she started her music career. Because she was a Disney Channel kid.
Right.
Which is very different.
Yeah. Launched into music, and then like this is the first thing she's done. She hasn't been in front of a camera for any sort of film project in years, right? So it was like, is she gonna be able to do this? Like that's a big movie to carry.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought she did great. Honestly, like I felt like she was really good. I'm not 100% sure she's doing all the dancing. Somebody that thin is very hard to comp.
Oh.
And there's a few times where you can kind of see it, and you're like, all right, that's fine. Because she is very thin, and when they are kind of comping back and forth with her double, there's a few moments where you can see it.
Yeah.
If you're looking for it.
In the behind the scenes, they talk about how they do all their own stunts. So, but I mean, Tom Cruise and every actor says that. So.
Yeah.
There's also a thing where it's like
We saw the Fall Guy.
If she's gonna be not for a shot, right?
Yeah.
Like if she's not going to be, if Cynthia Erivo is the focus and it's just like her in a dress
Running.
whirling by, like you're not gonna pay them both to have her there for that. You just get your
Right. No, there was like a couple shots of her like running.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's not her. It was okay. It doesn't take away from anything. That was the only knock I would have, and it's not even really a knock. But no, she was really good. I thought Erivo was fantastic. You kind of forget she's in there.
Yeah.
I think she really embodies the character well. I think they both, they read this script or sang this script or whatever you call it when you're reading a musical thing. And I think they both did a good job of bringing those characters to life. Obviously, they had something to base it on, which helps.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought they were really good. So.
If Cynthia gets an Oscar, when she'll be an EGOT winner.
Oh.
That'd be sick.
You got it, girl.
That would be. What do
She
you
was
think
good.
of some of the supporting cast? Tyler, you mentioned someone.
There's two in here that I don't think are very good. One big, one small.
Okay.
He's the SNL guy, Bowen Yang.
Yeah.
He's super distracting as like somebody who's supposed to be a supporting background actor. There's a couple moments early on in the movie where he's just like fidgety in the background, and it really it bugged me for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you moving so much? So he evens out and ends up being fine, but like early on I was like, this dude's super distracting.
It kind of feels like he's got that sketch. Like he just feels
he feels a little out of
he's
place.
in an SNL sketch.
Yeah, he feels just a little out of place.
Yeah.
Again, not enough for me to be upset about,
No.
but like it was just one of those things where I was like, yeah, I could live without it.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other, it's not a con, but I don't think Jeff Goldblum's particularly good in this. I think he's just Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. I think he started out. I felt like he got kind of like with Bowen.
Mm-hmm.
I think he got better the more screen time.
The more time he had, yeah.
And like, but at the beginning, he really is just trying to be this like it's himself,
Yeah.
but it's this bubbly personality who he wants you to like him, and that's just kind of. And then he shifts into more of a.
This is the guy we've always known.
Yeah.
Character.
Yeah. I was also a little, and maybe it's just there's just not much for her to do, but Michelle Yeoh, I was kind of disappointed with
That was the
her
one for me.
performance. Yeah,
Really, the only one where it's like, okay,
it's like it just kind of felt like
it's not bad.
No.
I don't think anybody's bad, but it's just like she doesn't sing.
and there may just not be much for her to. Like she wasn't given I understand she wasn't given a ton, but she has a somewhat pivotal role. and will be very important in the second one. Mm-hmm. So like, I just hope she brings. I don't know. It's not even charisma, but like just a little more effort to. She really felt like this was just a big name actor
kid. Yeah. Well, and it's funny, like Dana was telling me, because I mentioned she had read the books, and she's like, yeah, she's supposed to be, kind of fish looking or something like that.
Oh, really?
And they do that weird reveal where it's like behind her head, behind her head, boom, flip or whatever. And you're like, oh yeah. And I, not even thinking about it, I was like, yeah, I mean, maybe. And then she turns around, I'm like, oh yeah, they didn't pay her to change what she looks like.
No.
It's just her.
Just her.
Yeah, she was take it or leave it for me.
Okay.
I didn't feel like she added much or took anything away. So
yeah, I like Jeff Goldblum, but there's a reason I'm kind of. It's like, oh man, I don't know if I would have casted him, but it's a spoiler, so I can't say.
Oh, I think I know. That's just because I know things.
Oh, you know things.
I don't know things.
Dumb.
But yeah, no, again, we've just went through some of our nitpicks, but at the end of the day, it's like this is an easy recommendation, and
oh yeah,
I'm booyah on this thing.
This is it's an easy. It's almost a booyah for me. Do you know why it's not?
Because it's a musical?
Musicals.
Nope. Because it was advertised as Wicked, and it's Wicked Part 1. I did the exact same thing with Dune. Don't call me inconsistent. I know, and I knew it was. I'm not here to say that I didn't know it was. I knew it was Part 1 and Part 2 going in. Guess who didn't? Everyone else in the GD theater.
Really?
Yes. Our audience had an audible when that came up. You cannot tell me that this movie was marketed as a Part 1 because it absolutely was not. And 90% of most people do not read the trades. Most people do not know these things.
But they say
so it's not a booyah for me. Other than that, loved it. Love this movie. Cannot wait for Part 2. Just feel like I had to defend my reasoning there.
Well, I think it's a stupid reason. Yeah, it's a booyah for me. I just think it embraces the best things about stage musicals and the best things about movies and puts them together.
Yeah.
When they're singing and dancing, I feel like I'm watching a musical. Mm-hmm. And I'm coming off Joker 2. Easily one of the worst movies of the year and maybe the worst musical movie ever made. And it just hates being a musical. Mm. It's like you're watching What Is This Feeling? And they're dancing with their utensils and stuff. And it feels like you're watching a musical because that's what they do. The background dancers are doing stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's involved. Joker 2 is just Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga singing pop songs. It's this is stupid. But then in the third act, there's a pretty big spectacle scene. And you're throwing in CG and the music and the dancing and giant castles and a whole city and explosions. And it's this feels like a movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to see those come together in something I love is just awesome.
Yeah. So. It's really cool because I haven't seen Joker 2. I don't know. I probably would think somewhat, but I compare it to something like Hamilton, which is this was a musical that was filmed as a musical, but they've edited it kind of like a movie, but it doesn't have all of this stuff. And I really liked that the way it was for that particular one. I wouldn't necessarily want to see Wicked done. I think it'd be interesting, but I'm not advocating for anyone to go make a 4-hour version of Wicked or whatever the stage play run is. Just film it and.
I think it's shorter than this movie.
It's I was gonna say, I think it's close to 2.5 or 3 hours
without intermission.
Yeah. But I also don't want to see them make Hamilton into something like this.
That's another thing. Movies have editing. And I think this movie's edited so well. Just in how different musical numbers flow
together.
In their editing.
Oh, yeah.
And pace.
Yep.
Loved it.
Yep.
That being said, also, Hamilton is never going to get a movie. That thing is a one shot.
Yeah.
And it has one set.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be a while before they figure out how to do that.
I do think it's interesting, and I know we want to move on, but John Chu has now done In the Heights successfully, and
Yeah.
he's done this Wicked successfully,
Yeah.
at least part one. Assuming part two doesn't just crash and burn, right? Like, which I don't think it will. I'd be curious to see what he wants to do next, just as a creative.
Yeah.
Like, what does he want to make? Does he want to keep doing this? Does he want to make something completely different? Like, because his portfolio is not huge.
I mean, heck, just in the musical genre, he could do something like completely different.
Yeah, he can make his own thing.
Dude, just remake Phantom of the Opera and make it like a horror movie.
Well, Disney's already doing Phantom of the Opera.
Well, that's screwed.
Yeah.
Phantom's
Gosh dang
it's
it.
in public domain, right? Like
Well,
anyone could do that.
Yeah, but Disney's doing it. Oh, you want to hear how much worse it gets? They're making it for teens and young adults.
Blow my brains out.
But no, I did. It leads to. I have two questions about Wicked before we move on. Number one, what Broadway musical
Do I got good
would you
ways,
like to see
Christine?
done next?
Oh, my answer would have been probably Phantom.
It can still be.
And I really liked the
like with John
the
Chu
2005
specifically.
one.
Yeah.
With John Chu specifically.
Oh, with John Chu
Yeah.
specifically? Oh.
Book of Mormon.
Yes, I'm serious.
I'm
Tiger
not
Lily.
as someone's going to have to maybe list off a few musicals that are on Broadway. I'll just Google musicals on Broadway.
Well, there's like 5 Disneys, so you can just list one of those.
No.
Um
I haven't thought about this question. I wanted to ask it. So
we ready to fix cats yet? No.
I still want to watch that. I should watch that.
we should.
It's got to be some entertainment to it, right?
Moulin Rouge.
As soon as I saw it, I figured that'd be the one you'd say.
And I liked. I've seen that movie, the Ian McGregor one. Good. I would love to see what his take on that is. Just because it's a little more fantastical in its what it's dealing with. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Deals with those and we know that he can do relationship stuff. We've seen it in The Heights. I thought some of the relationship stuff in this one was weaker, specifically between Prince Fiero, and the weird love triangle they're trying to make. But the relationship stuff between Elphaba and Glinda is all good. So I just think Moulin Rouge would be kind of a fun place to run around in. There you go. That's mine. I answered the question. Did you say one?
Phantom.
Phantom. Okay. Stuck
But
with
not
Phantom.
the Disney
Yeah.
young adult CW version.
Make it R?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with because I think he would do it. I think it's called 6.
6.
Yes.
It's about the 6
the 6
ladies
husbands or 6 wives of
Yeah.
King Henry.
Oh. Yeah.
Like the king, they all get beheaded. Or 6 husbands.
It's called 6 the Musical. Yeah, Ex-Wives Ltd is the company. Yeah, I think that's one he would do. That was just here not too long ago. My other one, I was gonna ask favorite songs.
I mean, it's
Uh,
Defying Gravity.
I really like The Wizard and I.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
I mean, I like them all.
Yeah, there's not to me there's not a bad one. But I really like The Wizard and I a lot. Defying Gravity is I feel like everybody would answer that first.
I honestly think Defying Gravity is one of the best songs in any musical ever.
It's good.
It gets up there for me.
It's good. It's really good. And it's very well complemented within the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, are you looking at songs?
Yeah. Because I don't know the names of any of them.
I've listened to the album
can
a couple
let you know
times
what the name
today.
of them are.
Which one was One Short Day?
One Short Day. In the Emerald City.
Oh, that's when they show up.
Yeah.
To the Emerald City. Okay. Dancing Through Life is the one that's at the club.
In the library.
Yeah, in the library.
And the library. Oh, okay.
That's a very long song.
It's like 10
It's also
minutes.
very extended.
It's the
There's
what is the club called? The
Ozdust?
Ozdust, yeah.
There's a
That's
long
the scene that
dancing
got
section.
me.
Yeah, dude.
That scene got me real good. I didn't think it would
I
get
got
me.
in every single scene.
Yeah, I got there. Like, and I'm not talking like a small tear rolled. I'm talking like I was full on. The waterworks were flowing. I was a mess. It's like, this is not good. What is happening to me?
I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of been a wreck since Saturday afternoon.
It's probably
Since
for me.
watching it?
It's probably Defying Gravity.
Yeah.
But like you said, like they all feel good in their
Yeah.
respective places, and it's
They're all complimented well.
hard to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Popular. I think it's so much fun.
Yeah.
It is good.
It is.
Ariana crushes
She
it.
Yeah.
did do a really good job.
I
Yeah.
love how much they hate each other and what is this feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wizard and I is freaking awesome.
I love that
And I
song.
think that's like the only one where it's one person.
Yeah,
Like
because
no background cast.
Yep, it's just
no
Cynthia Erivo.
duets. It's
Yeah.
just Elphaba.
she's awesome.
I am a sentimental man. Think I will look back on more fondly than
Yeah.
what I.
What's crazy is like there's songs in part 2
Yeah.
that like I can't talk about. Like
Yeah.
For Good is the other one, which is Defying Gravity and For Good are like the main
The
songs.
songs. Yeah.
Mm.
So when they start marketing for part 2, it's gonna be all the
The four good
For
stuff.
Good and No Good Deed. That one's good too.
Mm.
Logan used that in one of his songs.
Oh,
Elphaba gives a scream. It's in that song.
nice.
No.
Well, very excited for part 2. Glad we only have to wait a year.
My letterbox, I just wrote it's going to be torture for
It's-
the next year. Just
I don't
wait.
think it'll
There's
be.
a lot of movies coming
I was
out.
gonna say
You'll
there's
be fine.
plenty coming. So
It's not like it's.
But they're not Wicked Part 2.
It's a good point.
what is there another musical coming out anytime soon?
Madam Web 2 or something.
I would go watch that train wreck for sure.
I probably would too.
Hey, we got Craven coming. Then Wolfman.
Oh no.
Dude, that trailer played for Gladiator.
Wolfman?
I legit think that movie looks bad.
I haven't seen the new trailer. I've only seen the one they put out.
So that movie has 3 people in it.
That's-
Where's the carnage? It's a wolf movie.
He's just gonna tear up rooms, man.
It's eventually gonna come down to the end where probably the dad's gonna die, the mom's gonna die, and the kid gets away.
Classic.
Like or just 2 people die. Oh,
It's gonna be like.
I need this dude to show up in a bar and wreak havoc. No, he's gonna be in the forest going ow woo.
Ooh.
Ow woo. Ow woo.
Okay. Well, before we get
Too far
too
down.
far
the-
down that hole, we'll talk about Gladiator 2. Luke and I saw this movie. Tyler did not.
I did not.
I'm glad you chose Wicked, though, personally. Just right off the bat, if you have to see one movie over Thanksgiving weekend, and you're choosing in between Wicked and Gladiator, I know Moana's coming out too, but
Oh yeah.
you know what? Screw it. I'll throw Moana in there too. Go see Wicked. I already know it's going to be better than Moana 2.
I do think Wicked is going to be more of a, especially for adults, right? Like it's more of a cultural touchstone film that we'll be talking about kind of collectively for the next couple months, I think, especially around Thanksgiving tables and Christmas. It'll be like
It
the
should
songs
be
will be
said,
everywhere.
made $114 million in the U.S.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's in my
That
news.
is awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's doing really well.
Especially, I think In the Heights didn't even make that
Oh, total?
total.
Probably not.
Yeah, I have it set the record for
Yeah.
biggest musical
Yeah,
Broadway musical adaptation.
I hope they put in IMAX too.
I didn't ask.
Yeah, I was a little bummed it wasn't there.
Was your guys' theaters? Did you have any sing-alongers?
No.
No.
Oh, thank goodness. I didn't either. I didn't. Yeah.
I had
I
some
also
talkers.
We had good audience, like, whoo, woo, and like little claps, but like nothing obnoxious.
I saw it today at 11:20 a.m.
You were the only person in that theater, weren't you?
No.
I legit might go.
There
to
was
the-
like 30 people in there.
Oh, I guess it's fall break.
I think I might go to a sing-along showing.
It could be fun.
I won't sing, but it would be fun to watch all the theater people
Now
just
that you've seen it.
go crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we-
now that I've seen it.
We had a group dressed up in front of us.
Oh, nice.
So they were into it.
Oh,
it was
that's
cool.
fun. That's fun.
The only thing that annoyed me about the audience was that they left during the credits, and I was like, "You're theater people. You know that you stay when you're giving
When
the
they're-
people who made the thing
Yeah.
their credit. Like, you'll clap, you stand, and give ovation. So you do it in the movie too. Come on. Plus, like, it's wicked music. This
Yeah.
is playing. You're just gonna walk out? What are we doing?
What's going on?
I didn't realize Ghibli Fest started this week. I thought that was in December.
Oh.
A remake of Wicked, but in Studio Ghibli animation style.
Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed.
I would pay $40 for that.
That would be awesome.
Okay.
Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Redo your time code.
We can see, yeah, right. You can tell how excited we are talking about Gladiator too. No, I think this movie is just fine. I'm disappointed in it for sure. As always, I think Ridley is like a very technically sound director. I think this movie is a good movie. I think it's a bad sequel.
Yeah.
Like, if you hadn't seen Gladiator, this would be a fine movie. But
Oh, so I shouldn't show my brother Gladiator before we go see it.
Honestly, I would show him the first Gladiator, wait 6 months, and then watch this.
I don't know. It's trying so hard to be Gladiator in
Yeah.
every decision it makes.
Oof.
And I just wanted it to be its own thing. Like, even if it is more or less a sequel, right? Like, and it is a sequel. It's like, it's 15 years after the first one. You can tell a new story, but it's the exact same story. It's about, and maybe that's the point, is that it's all cyclical and the fight for freedom and whatnot it always comes in, but it's just too similar, I think, for me to take anything away from that. That wasn't just lazy writing by John Spatz or whatever his name is. What's his name? Is it Spatz?
Oh, I don't know. Like, yeah, I agree with everything you said. And I think there are two things that really just separate. Like, if you're able to just judge them on their own merit and not compare them, which feels impossible.
Yeah.
Because it's the same director and a direct sequel, so. The first one has Russell Crowe, and he's awesome in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's incredible.
And this one, I don't really think anybody's that great. I think Denzel is the best performer in this movie.
Denzel is the most fun to watch. For sure.
I also think he's in the movie too much.
That's fair.
I feel like he's in every scene.
He
was constantly popping up and
talking.
like, I guess it's for a good reason. But
Yeah, when you figure out what his character is doing / trying to do, it's like, okay, he's being little puppet master, and so that's why he's everywhere doing everything. But it doesn't give, I don't think it gives Paul Mescal a chance to really shine.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's.
You go, okay, yeah, you're fine. You're good.
He's fine. He's fine. But he's
The
but he's
only
not.
people that
but
are
he's not
bad-
Russell Crowe, right? Like in
The only people that are actually bad are the emperors.
the twins.
Joseph Quinn and whoever the other guy was. Man, when they opened their mouth, I was just irritated. Especially the younger one, the smaller one. Man, just they're trying to be crazy Joaquin Phoenix from the first one, but Joaquin Phoenix is really good in the first one, and he's this like quiet crazy person.
He's menacing in his own way, right?
Yeah.
Like he's he's not just sick. Like, this felt like here are two emperors who are just mentally ill.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make me like them. It doesn't make me
Joaquin
really have
felt
any
really
sympathy for them, but it also doesn't make me scared of them at all. It just makes me annoyed by them.
Yeah.
And so the
Like,
motivation
yeah.
for like and the motivation for I don't want to get into any real spoilers, but like the motivation for Maximus in the first film and why he's doing what he's doing is so much more interesting and personal to that conflict than what Paul Mescal is. What's his name in the movie?
Which name? He has two names.
Yeah, the less spoilery one.
Lucius.
Like Lucius, they set it up so that he has an interesting relationship to the power dynamics of Rome, but it's not really an issue until the third act, and it has little if nothing to do with the emperors. So like they're not an actual protagonist to him. He doesn't really have he goes through the whole movie. That's the problem. He goes through the whole movie without having a real protagonist to fight against. Or sorry, antagonist. He's the protagonist, obviously. He doesn't have a good antagonist. He thinks he hates the emperors for whatever reason, for destroying the dream of Rome. Oh my god, the callbacks to the first one too. There's so many.
Strength and honor.
Let me rub the dirt.
What you do here echoes for eternity. Nice armor, bro.
I'm gonna cosplay as Maximus.
The other thing that it just, like, again, I have to compare it to the first one. In the first one, you have like 30 minutes of intro. You have this huge battle. You meet Maximus. You meet Connie Nielsen. You meet Joaquin Phoenix. You meet Marcus Aurelius.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kicks off.
Yeah.
And you're not really sure what, like, the emotional pull of why you're going to really root for Maximus is. And this one is just like, here you go. Exact same thing, but only in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like we should have built up to that. Or you know what? Want to do something different? Don't kill her.
Yeah. Yeah. Mix it up a little bit. But again, we're trying to do the exact same thing. He's someone we haven't mentioned. Big name in this. Pedro Pascal.
It's all right.
He's all right. I didn't hate him. Like, they give you reasons to kind of hate him. I guess he's technically the antagonist for Lucius. But very quickly you realize you shouldn't actually... you don't want them to kill each other. So, no, I thought he was fine. I thought it looked good for the most part. There were some CG animal stuff that wasn't great.
The animals look bad. And I feel like they, like, first gladiator fight, baboons. Next one, rhino. Next one, sharks. It's like, why are there so many animals? Also, I know that's like a historical point for the sharks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more annoyed that they were just even there as a deterrence.
Oh.
Just like another thing to worry about, and
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
Another point. Really disappointed with the naval battle gladiator
Yeah.
fight. It was short.
It was very quick, and
I was expecting like a super epic big fight there, and it was just over. It's like, okay.
60 seconds of the boats circling each other until boom, and then fight. No, yeah, I don't know. I think the overall, like, ramping up of what they're trying to do, like what you're saying with the conflicts, right? And so then we get into the, the more personal stake fights. Because there's a fight between, like, in front of the emperors at, like, a party, right? And it's, like, just hand v hand stuff.
That was cool.
It was
I liked
cool.
that.
But it felt inconsistent. It didn't always feel like the stakes were always growing like it needed to. There were good moments in all of the fights. I thought they looked like the fights looked and felt good, well edited fights. But it kind of goes back to just trying to do, okay, where can we get him doing the two-handed sword beheading from the first, like, hey, remember that thing from the first one? Let's do it in this one. Where can we put it in?
Yeah.
That's all it felt like to me. And it ripped any soul that it had out of the movie. It ripped it out and said,
Yep.
don't worry about what this one is. Just remember those things you loved.
Yeah.
It was way more nostalgia bait than I expected, and that's ultimately why I'm disappointed.
Yeah. And I don't think it helped that I watched Gladiator 1
Like right before it.
I
was
Probably
thinking
not.
about rewatching it. Now I don't.
I wouldn't.
Think I should.
honestly. If they do a recap of Gladiator 1 in the opening credits.
They do.
Honestly, really
And
cool.
pretty good, because
Really
it's like
cool.
that painterly
Yeah.
kind of vibe.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Pretty neat. Spoilery, I'm gonna ask this question to you, Luke. It's a
keep
spoiler,
spoilers out of it.
but I'm gonna try to ask it in a way that's not spoilery.
Everybody dies. Rome was just gone.
He enters a time.
How
portal.
long did it take you to figure out a certain lineage? And how long did it take you to figure out who someone's father was? And did you feel like that was
0 minutes.
written
0 seconds.
Okay, let me rephrase it. Did you feel like that was, because I haven't seen the original Gladiator in a hot minute, even though I think it's great. Was that implied at all in the first one?
It's implied.
Okay.
There's a scene in Gladiator 1 where it's when they first meet. They're
Yeah.
talking, and she's like, "Yeah, my son's 8," and he's like, "Oh, my son is also 8." And he kind of just gives this weird look, and then too when he dies, he says Lucius is safe.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, like, and they,
Yeah.
but I've just.
It felt.
It's kind of like Blade Runner, where it's always been implied
Yeah.
that this thing, except Blade Runner, they never answer the question, and I love you for that, Blade Runner. And this one, they just go, "Yup."
I don't know, that it really rubbed me the wrong way because I was not in that, like, I wasn't really prepared for that. And in my head, and this is just me now talking about how my not rewatching it beforehand caused me pain and grief.
I went into it always assuming
See, and I didn't.
that.
I didn't think about it.
I think I have put the pieces together because my assumption is something too.
Okay, potential Gladiator 2 spoilers here. Now's your chance to mute it for the next minute and a half. 3, 2, 1.
My assumption is that Paul Mescal is Maximus's son.
Yeah.
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 I thought that was like a known thing.
Okay, no. I was not I didn't think
They never outright say it in the first
they
one.
never outright say it in the first one, and I thought in my head he did that because it was less of a fatherly thing and just more of like
Honor.
a righteous honorable thing to do after he extracted the vengeance for the loss of his other family, right? Like the family that he cared about. And I felt like diving into this, now it's a relational thing, took away from the vengeance that Maximus had in the first one. I could be, that's just me and probably my worldview and how I think about things.
Honestly, would have liked it more if they just would have been like, actually, no.
Yeah, I think that would have shocked me. More.
I
and I haven't seen it. But
I just
assume he's gonna wear the helmet.
bro.
Yeah. I thought that's what this whole movie was just the continuing of that story through his kid.
Okay, well you're right. Yeah, then
That's what I thought it was.
then you maybe won't be as disappointed as I was.
I think I still may be, but so, Tiger Lily asked in the chat, "How interested are you in seeing Gladiator?" Very much so. Gladiator is one of my favorite movies of all time. So it's hard for me to not go see.
Thankfully, that
sequel.
doesn't change after this one. It's
Yeah.
still really good.
Yeah, it doesn't really take anything away from the first one.
Yeah.
I will watch Gladiator 1 countless times throughout my life. I will probably not watch Gladiator 2 again.
Yeah.
Not that it's horrible. It's just like, I don't really need to.
Yeah.
The other, I'd say, big issue I have with it is this movie is chocked full of plots. Every single person has their own plot.
Just too busy.
And yeah, it just felt so busy to me. I felt like we were just kind of rocketing through storylines.
Mm-hmm.
And then to find out that there was a character taken out. May Calloway was supposed to be in this. She's from Moon Knight.
Oh.
She was taken out.
Do we know anything about what the role was?
No.
Okay. I didn't feel like there was anything missing, quote unquote.
I'm just more like, there was supposed to be something else in there.
Right. It's like, I don't know
It's
what
like-
else they would have put in there.
Her exclusion is kind of... People are speculating. Because they're going, oh, it's because of runtime. And it's like, or is it because she's of Palestinian descent? Like, what's the real answer?
Yeah.
What aren't you saying? Who made this? Warner Bros?
No.
Ridley?
I think it's Paramount.
Paramount.
Or
That's
you?
right. It's Paramount.
Okay, Paramount or Universal? I think
Universal
it's
is Wicked.
Yeah, so it is Paramount. Yeah, they wouldn't release 2 movies on the same weekend. Anyways, yeah.
What are you guys giving this thing rating wise?
Give it to Matthew McConaughey.
Same. Yeah, I think if you...
I do think it's worth seeing maybe once.
Yeah, if you're into action movies and you're not...
The action is good.
That tied to Gladiator, at the same time, if you really enjoy Gladiator, I do think that there are people who watch this and are like, I love that this is a continuation of that story, and it makes me feel all of the things because I love the first one so much. It makes me revisit that. I wouldn't say it's the right sequel for me, but yeah, Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Okay. Sorry, Tyler, you were gonna say something.
No, I just said nice.
Nice. Real quick before we hop into news, Luke, I assume you finished Arcane season 2. No, I have not, but I wanted to give you a chance, really quickly,
did you start it?
to review it. I have not yet. No.
Before you do that, we
What is our question?
Story asks a question.
Hold on, I have bad eyesight.
He says, "How is
I'm an old
Denzel's
man.
character in this?"
Kind of like Luke was saying.
His character?
He's in it a lot. And
I thought his character was okay. I think Denzel was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that he brings a lot of charisma to the screen anytime he's in it. Everyone else is kind of
He could
broody,
if
except
they
for...
casted Denzel in the Watching Grass Grow movie, he'd somehow bring charisma to that.
Yeah, he would. That's
I can't
true.
explain how he'd do it, but he would.
But he would. No,
King Kong ain't got shit on this grass.
he was legitimately my favorite part of this movie to watch. And he does have a lot of screen time. But I think he's oddly kind of the glue that holds everything together.
Yeah.
So, no, I think he was good.
Yeah. He's good. He's really good.
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, that was my question. Just asked it weird. Thank you."
Cool.
No problem.
Cool.
Thank you.
So, yes, Luke, I have not seen any of Arcane Season 2.
All right, I'll keep it short and sweet.
All right.
It's really good. It is really good. It's weird to go through one weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I watched Wicked, and then I finished Arcane. Just like, oh my god, I got so many headaches from all these emotions. Arcane Season 1 is better. I don't think that's going off on a
Not too much of a hot take.
Yeah.
hot take. Arcane Season 1 just, I think, is more personal to the characters.
Ooh. I like me some character-driven
Season
stuff.
2. Well, you've seen season 1.
Yeah, sorry.
Season 2 is way more epic.
Okay.
And it still has all that personal stuff in there. There was a great episode with Echo and Jinx, just kind of heartbreaking, and it's amazing. And like the last episode is just kind of bonkers. I think ultimately the pace of season 2 was really quick. So it's kind of hard to feel the things they want you to because you're moving on so quick. But it still works, especially where it ends. It's really well done. It's one of the most beautiful shows ever animated. Yeah, I loved it. Like, Wicked is my favorite movie of the year, and this is my favorite show of the year.
Nice.
Nice.
To get both number ones done in one weekend, it's like,
It's a great feeling.
let's go, baby.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah, Arcane is a booyah. Like, season 1 and season 2.
As a package.
Yeah, just
Nice.
just really incredible stuff. The characters and their story. The best thing I think about Arcane is that everybody is good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody has this really intense struggle of doing the right thing, helping others, doing this for me. And, like, you're like, oh, wow, this character is actually the bad guy. 4 episodes later, you're like, wow, this character is actually the good guy. Wow, this character is actually... You do that with every character.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. I love the decisions that the characters make in this show. And I love how it affects them. And that just, I've said it a billion times. It is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Especially, like, in the last episode is, like, big battles, and it goes so anime. And I love it. Got bright lights and
Crazy
huge
facial
explosions.
expressions.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. But, yeah. It is very emotional, too. Make me feel things.
Nice.
It's a good feeling. Not always good, but not always bad.
It was an interesting feeling to come off both of those and then go into Gladiator and then not really feel much.
You're just like, okay. That was
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay.
That was a movie.
Like,
Maybe
oh,
it was a nice change
like,
of pace
that
for
character
you.
died. Okay. Kind of saw that coming.
Maybe it was a nice change of pace for you, though.
Maybe.
Probably good that you didn't just hit yourself in the face 3 times with heavy emotions. It's probably not a great...
I might be dead right now.
You might be.
Could have been, yeah.
Maybe you are, and you just don't know it yet.
This is actually the afterlife.
Yeah.
You have any
It's you
feels-
sitting on a
any
couch.
feels around that you can run your hands through?
Well, in Gladiator 2, it's a river. Can't do the exact same thing.
It's a river next to a wheat field.
Yeah.
With wheat going down the river.
That's right.
Someone crashed a wagon into it.
I mean, this Gladiator 2 opens with a shot of some sort of
Barley.
some grain seed. Someone picking some up, slow motion. Very Zack Snyder-y.
I was going to say, is that a Snyder
It
film?
wasn't quite as contrasty as Zack Snyder.
It wasn't slow enough.
It was only 120 frames per second rather than 240. So, all right, news this week.
I wrote down
Got
a
some
handful of
stories?
stories. I don't really feel like there's a lot, but there's some things.
I only have one.
You want to go first?
Sony's trying to buy Katakoma.
Yeah.
They own From Software. So, essentially, Sony's trying to buy From Software.
Yeah. They want Elden Ring exclusive.
They want that exclusive.
It's been really funny watching like the console war bros fight over this.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's so many weird like dialogues that go along with these things, and I think my favorite thing I've seen is it's like, we can't let Sony buy it. We need it. If somebody's gonna buy it, it's got to be Xbox because Xbox is pro consumer. And I was like, no, they're both just pro making money.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, if anything, Xbox could just do, or try to do what Sony did with, like, the court case stuff and be like,
yeah, the FTC.
they have to put From Software games on both.
Yeah.
like with Activision.
I just think I don't know. We have some friends of the pod that are big From Software fans, and I asked JT, who's often in the chat, not tonight, but and I was like, "How do you feel about it?" Because he's a huge From Software guy and a huge PlayStation guy, and he goes, "I think it's bad." He's like, "I don't think it should happen," and I was like, "Oh, interesting. Okay." So that's where he landed on it. I don't care all that much. I tried Elden Ring. It was cool. It's not for me. I tried Sekiro and I couldn't beat the first boss, and I was like, man, F that noise. So yeah, that was one of my stories as well.
I love Fire Rubicon though. That was fun.
Yeah, did you beat it?
No, dude, I'm not good enough.
It's
too hard.
Still too hard. Yeah.
And plus, I stopped.
Oh,
like,
and then
play
trying
this-
to go back.
I
to
went
it.
back and I just went in the training room and was like, I'm so bad at this. Trying to fight like a level 1 enemy. Just getting wrecked. But yeah, Armored Core. I think I'd be disappointed if I had to get it on PlayStation. But I'm like in every camp. I don't really care. I just eventually want exclusivity to go away.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think ideally every game is on every console. But I understand why that isn't the case. Baroque in the chat, I played the 30 minutes of Dark Souls and said, nope, not for me. Yeah, dude, it's just, they're tough. That's a tough franchise to get into, or tough developer to get into.
It's crazy to me how big the audience is.
Oh man, it's nuts. It's nuts. It blows my mind. I will say though, there are people who can really
He's reading.
sorry, yeah.
I can't read that
I
far
tried
away.
the new Dynasty Warriors demo and it whooped my rear. Interesting. Dynasty Warriors has been gone for a while. We've had Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors, but an original Dynasty Warriors game coming out now is pretty interesting. I am not a big fan of those games. They make my eyes hurt. There's just so much happening. There's so much on the screen at one time. Oh shoot, what was I going to say? Oh, there are some people who can like coach you through those things. I had JT come over one time when I was playing Elden Ring, and he just like sat next to me while I was playing, and he's like kind of like just watching how I play, and then being like, so instead of doing that here, try this. And it wasn't like backseat playing. He was just like, hey, try this here and see if that helps you or if it feels better.
I would prefer extreme backseating if I
Well,
was...
eventually I ended up beating the boss like pretty quickly, and I was
Nice.
like, dude, what the heck? And he was able to like coach me through it a bunch. It was really cool.
I do that with Steph and Claire.
It's
like Steph with
interesting.
Horizon. It's like I've never played Horizon, but I understand.
But you know how video games work.
I know game mechanics,
Yeah.
right? And same with Claire and something like Breath of the Wild, which she's going through right now. She's like,
Which no lie can be pretty tough.
it can
Yeah.
be.
Well,
You
I
get in
think-
some of those shrines and there's puzzles, or there's like the arena little fights that you have to do, and it's like, okay, well, look for, she spends a lot of her time running away from things. It's like, okay, in a shrine you can't do that.
Not a
So
bad strategy.
what is the pattern that you're seeing here?
Yeah.
Right? So what is it doing? Is there something that's indicating it may be vulnerable? Like you have to look for those things.
yeah.
So you get good at that time. You'll get you probably already are better at doing that than you think you are, but you get really good when you have to try and coach a 9-year-old through
Yeah,
something.
I believe it.
Really test your patience.
You should have your kid play Elden Ring, see how she does.
She still hasn't quite figured out how to like hold the controller.
You gotta start somewhere.
Might
Might as well just throw them into the...
We started with the Bluey game.
Have either of you played I feel like it's been a while since we talked about this. Have either of you played Ori?
I have, but I don't like platformers.
Yeah.
So I stopped.
I have not played it, and I do like platformers.
Claire's beaten both those games. Like,
On the hardest difficulty?
no.
They're tough games, though.
They're tough.
anyways.
Yeah.
Tiger asks, "Do they appreciate your assistance?"
I think so. Steph, maybe not as much, because
She's an adult.
she's an adult. And I think I can sometimes come off as, like...
You can't buy me
The difference
a hot
is
dog,
the difference
man.
is Stephanie is happy to like take an hour on an encounter running around. Like she's fine with that. Like if she just runs around and pings them with one arrow every minute, and like it takes super long time to destroy a giant machine, that's fine with her. She doesn't care. Claire gets frustrated, and so I think she appreciates the help a little more. It's different. Like, she'd rather just hand the controller to me and me beat the thing, but I won't do that.
Dude, so
And I assume you like to optimize.
Yeah.
You like to figure out how to do it the best way you can, most efficiently, in a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, because it is safe sometimes to run around and just sneak and, like, pop up and shoot an arrow and then hide again. But, like, I don't want to spend an hour doing that. That's
dude,
no
I
fun.
am so bad at games like Elden Ring for that very reason.
Yeah.
You give me swords, I want to swing them. I don't want to swing and run away. And I get killed in 2 hits, and I'm like, well, that's not fun.
Yeah.
But
Honestly, I think you'd like Armored Core then.
then I liked what I played of it at your house.
Because that is...
I ran out of ammo, though.
It's like the opposite of Elden Ring.
Where
Elden
it's-
Ring is wait for the opening, swing, dodge, parry, swing, roll. Oh, lost my stamina.
Yeah.
Armored Core is gas pedal down.
Yeah, dude.
And it's on because you can get checkpoints. I feel like it's easier to optimize in Armored Core.
Yeah.
So you actually might kind of like it too, but you don't like
Single player games.
So.
Dude,
Actually, it has multiplayer.
Dude, maybe I'm into it then.
yeah, I don't know. I just the From Software genre as a whole is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
because of its difficulty. But if Sony buys it, I'll act upset. I won't really be.
It'll be fine.
I've
Yeah,
played
it'll
0
all
of
be
their
fine.
games, and I will probably not play anymore. So
How will it affect LeBron's career, though?
That's the real question.
I'd be curious to see.
he
how...
just buys PlayStation after that.
I would be curious to
Dude,
see
he
what
probably
Xbox
could.
would do, though. Because I feel like Xbox would be like, "Oh, well, we need to get something,"
Inevitably.
because they're pretty reactionary.
You know what they would do? They would go buy
like Sega or something.
Bandai Namco, who used to publish all those
Oh
games.
my gosh.
They'd be like, well, now what? Now we have your books. It's like, oh, jeez. Just becomes an arms race at that point.
So would that like be
already
Resident
an
Evil and
arms
stuff
race.
too? Doesn't
Bandai Namco? No, they're Capcom.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's Capcom.
I'm thinking of Capcom.
Dude, what if they bought Capcom, though? If
That's
Xbox
not
did.
happening. If anything, Capcom is gonna buy somebody.
That's true.
The thing with Xbox buying people, though, now is like,
It's money laundering.
they've basically said that nothing's exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, what does it,
doesn't.
matter if
Yeah,
Xbox
they just get
buys
money.
them?
Dude, they did. And this
Dude, I
wasn't.
can't wait to play Halo on the Nintendo Switch too. Oh!
This wasn't one of my news stories, but like apparently Game Pass subscriptions exploded because of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
It's,
October was like the best month they've had in years.
yeah.
And I was like, well, I mean, that was the goal. So now how many people
$69
forget-
billion dollar
How many-
gamble there?
how many people are going to forget to cancel and be paying for Game Pass now?
Not me.
Or how many people will just keep it because they're like, I want to play
Yeah.
these games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, I want to play Indiana Jones too. Let's
Best
keep it."
value in gaming.
I do like their new advertising campaign right
This
now.
is an
This is
Xbox?
an Xbox.
This is an Xbox. Dude, the one today was so good. This is not an Xbox. This is a bread box. It's like what? Oh, I'll talk about that when I get to my weekly. thing.
Okay. Okay.
Did they have like a cardboard box with,
They do have one that is a cardboard box. Yes,
but it's like just got X's on it? It's like technically this is an Xbox.
I don't know if they did that yet.
but not our Xbox.
That may be coming. A couple other Sony stories I thought were pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Or I guess one other. Sony is developing a PlayStation handheld again. Goal is to rival Nintendo to play PlayStation games on the go.
Hey, remember when they spent a bunch of money developing a handheld that was just useless?
You can play it on the toilet.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, now they're gonna make another PSP but console size.
How has Sony not figured out that people like the PSP
Was awesome.
is so revered?
It was so
People
awesome.
loved that thing. I know it didn't sell amazing, but like it had such good PR about it. Like, bring it back.
But only with the disc thing, and make sure it's just as loud.
And then I'll get into some TV stuff. Alan Tudyk will be voicing Clayface in Creature Commandos,
That's right.
as well as
That's right.
Dr. Phosphorus. I think that is one of those things that goes along with what Gunn had in his little roundtables last week, that some of these voice actors will voice characters but not play them in live action. I think this is one of those. And then some movie stuff. Christopher Nolan's next movie cast is taking shape.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you guys have seen this. Zendaya, Tom Holland, Matt Damon, Robert Pattinson, Anne Hathaway, Lupita Nyong'o, and today Charlize Theron. So the cast is getting in place. So
Oppenheimer 2 looks crazy.
it's gonna be a wild ride when that one finally gets going.
Or is it Sister Act 3? That would be the biggest twist of all time. Like, actually, my favorite franchise ever is Sister Act.
Just make it another one.
Dude, what if it's the next?
If they add Whoopi Goldberg,
Dude, what if
I'm
it's?
telling you, we're gonna get a crazy.
They got Charlize Theron. What if it's the next Fast movie?
Oh my God.
He loves the Fast and Furious franchise.
I'm surprised he hasn't been like, can I produce these just for the money?
Yeah.
Just throw your name on it, give no input, just be like, just put my name right there.
I mean, he's with Universal now, so.
Oh! He's not gonna do it.
No, he's not. And then my last story was just going back to talking more and more about Wicked, as we've done a lot tonight. It is the biggest Broadway stage play to film box office launch ever. 114 million domestically, 164.2 global.
That's the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's going to do amazing this next weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna do gangbusters.
I'm seeing it again.
Yeah, you're gonna
With my
get.
parentals.
You're gonna get it. That's exactly what I was gonna say. You're gonna get people who saw it the first weekend take their families when they're together on Thanksgiving weekend.
My mom is even going to see it.
Yeah.
My mom texted me today. She's like, "Hey, how was Wicked?" And I was like, "It was really good." And she was like, "I'm doing a Wizard of Oz puzzle. I'm really excited to see it later this week." And I was like, "What?" Okay, it's like the most random thing ever.
Yeah.
But my mom never goes to the movies, and she's gonna go see Wicked.
My parents are going. They texted us and they're like, "Hey, over Thanksgiving weekend, would you guys be interested in going as a fan? Like all of us going to see Wicked?" And we're like, "Well, we can already have plans to see it on Sunday, but you guys could join us if you want to on Sunday." And they're like, "Oh no, we don't want to impose." So they're going, and I think there's an open invitation if we wanted to join them.
I'll go with them.
Yeah. They would love to have
Luke
you
and I
both.
just show up. We're like, "Oh, hey, what's up, guys?"
We saw Poisonous Water in Minnesota with them.
Yeah, we did.
No, Teflon. Poisonous
The Teflon movie.
Oh, the
Dark Waters?
Dark Waters, yes.
Oh yeah, it was Poisonous Water. And it got into Teflon.
It was from the Teflon.
It was from the Teflon.
Where did that movie disappear to?
Dude, it was good.
That
HBO,
movie was-
probably.
It was
Is it
really
Max?
good.
Did it get nominated for anything? I don't
No,
remember.
it was the same people who did Spotlight, so I'm not surprised.
Man,
it
that
was
movie
good.
was really good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I just remember for the trailer, it was for the scary movie with Finn Wolfhard or whatever. And there was a spider in it. Your mom was just like, ah!
Oh yeah, that's mom.
I was like, that's exactly how my mom would probably react too.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, it's probably how I reacted. I don't like spiders. Did you have any more news stories?
I don't believe so. I'm trying to. No, I did not.
That was a
have any.
Focus Features did that.
I did not have any more.
It grossed 23 million total.
How much was it to make? Like 5? Well, no, Ruffalo is in it. He's gonna cost a bunch of money.
He might.
I think Ruffalo's one of those actors who
He all
works for pennies because he it's
He likes the craft.
He has Hulk money.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm not saying the man's poor or anything.
He's broke.
saying-
He's a broke boy.
I'm saying he on something like this, which is absolutely up his wheelhouse in terms of he's big into environmental issues.
Yeah.
He'd do that and probably give away all of
the money.
the money he makes to
the family
to an organization or something, right?
That's true.
It doesn't. I can't find it.
Well, should we hit some
estimated.
weekly updates?
Yes.
Cool. Luke, you go first tonight. You always go third. So.
Okay. First thing, because of Wicked, I haven't watched The Wizard of Oz since I was a child, so I rewatched The Wizard of Oz.
Do you still hate it?
No, I appreciate it a little more now.
Nice.
You know what's interesting? After watching Wicked, I think I like it less.
The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
Well, I much prefer the story of Wicked.
Yeah.
the reason I like The Wizard of Oz is because of Wicked. If Wicked didn't exist, I don't know if I'd like it as much. But from just like a filmmaking standpoint, it came out in 1939.
Yeah.
It's just incredible to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. They poisoned like half their cast.
Dude, the tornado looks so...
I mean, not intentionally.
So
They
good.
poisoned their... What?
The asbestos,
Oh.
lead
Yeah,
in
this-
the paint.
The snow is asbestos. All of the people who had paint on them got...
The witch had like third degree burns.
burns
She's
from-
using white phosphorus for the fire and stuff. And
Jeez, dude.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Filmmaking was awesome back
everybody
then.
jokes about the munchkin hanging in the forest, which wasn't real.
yeah.
And then there's all the
There's
stuff
all
that
the
is real.
way worse stuff that no one knows about.
Yeah, the Tin Man paint, the mask I think for the scarecrow, like scarred up
Scarred
his face.
him.
The dude who played the lion was wearing an actual lion fur suit, so he's like got really sick from that. Obviously, Judy Garland died in her 40s, and
They're pretty sure it was...
a lot of that probably stemmed from the production of this movie. And
Hey, let's just
It's-
sprinkle asbestos on you for...
Do you guys think with Wicked, assuming part 2 is super successful, they're going to remake that? Or do you think Wizard of Oz is kind of one of those movies that nobody really wants to mess with?
Nothing is sacred.
I don't think they will.
I
I think they'll do their own little, like we got the Oz Great Novel.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it'll be something like that. Kind of how Wicked is.
So I learned something today in the Wizard of Oz book. There's 14 books.
Yeah, it's huge.
Not
It's like
including Wicked.
it's
Wicked
a
is a separate
huge-
thing.
It's a huge series.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Crazy.
I'm kind of interested in it. I think it'd be fun.
Go crazy with it.
I might eventually. I mean, I'm not in any
You
rush.
would be the one.
I'm not in
out of
any
the
rush
three
to
of
get
us.
to
I
it.
would be the one to not, obviously.
I would be the one to buy all the books, but then never read them.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd have a nice collection, a nice set there. I'd be like, aha!
Baroque says rewatching The Wizard of Oz made me get, but still not like Babylon.
Okay. All right, Baroque. I can see that. No, I'm kind of with Luke. It's like I appreciate and I really like The Wizard of Oz because of what they did, even if how they did it was terrible sometimes. Like, it was of the time, right? We didn't know some of these things, and so, unfortunately, bad things happened on set.
And just like there's the Lollipop Guild bit, and it's just like, this is so weird. And it was probably like, yeah, back in 1939, they were probably loving it. But like now, it's just like, we represent the Lollipop Guild. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, I just think
It's weird.
Even
think-
just that opening, that first shot into Oz.
It's beautiful.
It's like going from the sepia tone color to full
Yeah.
bright, like, oh my gosh. And they do so much, like, it's all done practically. It's the 30s.
Yeah.
It's all done practically.
Yeah.
They're obviously they're not like making an actual tornado, but they're using real, like, how they make that is really impressive.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't dislike the movie. I think
Sure,
I just
sure.
after watching Wicked and like
Excuse me.
character my feelings about characters changed.
The problem, not the problem, the thing that Wicked reveals about the Wizard of Oz is how surface level all those characters really are.
Correct.
And how just like it's so black white face value.
The depth
There's
of
no-
Wicked screams through the screen. at
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
Right.
So I do think there is an opportunity, probably at some point in the future, not to do a musical, but to do a retelling of The Wizard of Oz that
I'm
is-
amazed we've not gotten one.
is a little more not even modern, but just has those modern storytelling sensibilities.
We
Yeah.
got the Wiz.
We got there was a
What?
Zoe
The
Deschanel
Wiz.
like 3-episode
Oh, I don't
limited
remember
series on.
It's a musical version of The Wizard of Oz.
Was it good?
I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
We've had things. None of them have been successful in
There's no direct,
real-
just remake of The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
I bet one gets greenlit in the next 5 years.
it'll be interesting to see. I'm curious, Luke. Well, part 2 of Wicked takes place during the Wizard
Yeah.
of Oz, so we'll get to see some of that.
Yeah.
So will there be a need? Does that scratch that itch enough
Gotcha.
to kind of? I don't know. Probably not, but at the same time, who knows? And that's why I don't think it would be a musical, because I think it would just be unfairly compared to
Wicked.
and be like, oh, they're just trying to do
Another thing. Yeah.
yeah.
What else did you do?
I started the series Cross.
Okay.
On
Oh
Prime
yeah, I keep seeing ads for that.
Video. Yeah.
With Aldous Hodge.
Yep. I think I've watched 3 episodes.
Nice.
Really enjoyed it.
Is
so
it
far.
what is Reacher called? A dad show or whatever? Is Cross a dad show?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Woo!
All right.
They're taking all these books and being like, yeah, man, all these dad agent dudes, we're going to make all into shows.
Yeah.
They're going to form the Avengers at some point.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it so far, and I'm really curious to see where it goes.
Is Aldous Hodge good?
Oh yeah, he's really good.
I was going to say, I've liked him in everything I've seen him in.
Yeah.
Even Black Adam, I think he's good in. And that movie sucks.
It was good up until Skateboard Kid decided to just go whack zombies.
Nah, man, he's gonna take them all out.
Skateboard Kid was built. He's just like, oh, we're just gonna fight now. Did I do anything else? I can't remember. I don't think so. Like Destiny, obviously.
Naturally.
I'll go next because real quick, I didn't do a ton. I mean, I made it out to 2 movies.
I technically did a ton this week.
Yeah, you did a ton. I made it out to the 2 movies. We had a
2 movies.
Southern District Youth Conference that I was at all weekend as well. So like Gladiator, I saw Thursday before the conference, and Wicked I saw Sunday after the conference.
How was your audience for Gladiator? We kind of talked about Wicked.
It was good. There were
Was it busy?
It made a lot of money.
It made $55 million.
Yeah,
which is nothing to stop at.
it was well attended. It wasn't like a packed house.
It wasn't like Wicked.
Man, my theater for Wicked was pretty dang busy. I was so happy when I saw so many
it was
people.
comparable. I don't know.
Okay.
We went to like our Wicked showing was like 5:00 on a Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So like I don't think it was
It's not the busiest crowd.
not the busiest crowd, but there was still like the theater was probably 60-70% full. Like it was respectable, and that's kind of how Gladiator felt on Sunday. Now
That's not bad.
we saw Gladiator in the IMAX,
Yeah,
a
same.
much bigger theater. So
When I bought the tickets for me and Logan sitting in the theater for Wicked, it was kind of fun.
yeah,
I was like, where do you want to sit? And it was like, oh, I'll check to see how many seats are available. There was 3 tickets bought for our Sunday evening showing,
oh wow,
and it was probably like a quarter to a fifth full.
oh really?
Yeah, it was not super busy. I was
I
pretty
guess
surprised.
Sunday evenings just a lot of people will still have work this week. You may not go to a
Sunday night blues usually kick in. It's like I don't want to do anything.
yeah,
but I was honestly kind of surprised Gladiator didn't have more of a showing. It's because it is like that's a classic movie now. I feel like you can call it that. It's old enough.
yeah. I think it'll do okay. It's going to go into.
What's the budget?
It really depends on if they're week 2.
I think I think a lot of people are waiting for Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
So
I'm just curious if word of mouth reviews are positive or negative enough to sway people to say, "Oh, I'm going to go to Wicked instead," or
yeah.
like, we were going to do both, but now maybe we'll just do the one. Or if maybe
More
word
on
of
it
mouth
too now.
Word of mouth is positive enough, maybe they're gonna go see 2 movies.
I'm going to see. I'm going to go see 2 movies this week.
Moana.
Maybe 3. Yeah, I'm going to take Dana. I'm going to take Bryn to go see
Are you
Moana.
taking to a normal showing, or do they have a kids one?
We usually go to the early morning one. So if that's 10:30 or 11:15, we try to go to the early one. But it just depends what day we can get out and go.
Yeah.
and then I'll go see Gladiator this week at some point.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna have to refrain, but I really want to go see Wicked again.
You want to go with me and my family?
Maybe. When are you going?
Probably Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, probably not. Probably not.
We're doing our Thanksgiving on Friday.
I remember, yeah, Dana was telling me.
So it should be nice and empty.
Yeah.
Right at noon.
Dude, that's perfect.
Well, I guess whenever my parents want to see it, though.
They're in charge.
The hard part right now, though, for me is like that's a 3-hour block.
Yeah.
So I have to be selective. Yep. Do I want to stay up till midnight to see it or not? I mean, yes. Generally, yes. But I also have other things I want to do too. So I guess I'm up.
Yeah. What else? What do you
so the This Is an Xbox campaign.
Yeah.
I have partaken. We bought a new Fire Stick.
Nice.
If you remember, it's been a few months now, but the new Fire Sticks have the Xbox app that you can download. So I downloaded it, synced my controller up to it, signed in, booted up Game Pass, and could just play whatever I wanted. And it works. And it's insane.
That's awesome.
To play an Xbox on my Amazon Fire Stick. Mm-hmm. And it runs fine. There's latency. I think with any cloud streaming, you expect that.
Mm-hmm.
I played on my Xbox. Like, I was just on my Xbox.
In cloud streaming?
And cloud streamed, what was the last Assassin's Creed? The Viking one.
Valhalla?
Yeah. I thought it went okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't play anything that big through it. I think it's just too.
I think if I would have played stressful. Like Celeste or something, it would have probably been fine.
Yeah,
or maybe
stuff
even
that's
worse,
not.
That is a
that is very. Yeah, I was gonna say anything precision based is kind of hard.
There's a platformer.
We got it so Dana could try out Dreamlight Valley, which is like the Disney Animal Crossing kind of game. And then also like there's little puzzlers that you could play, like A Little to the Left or stuff like that.
Bluey.
Or Bluey. Yeah. We have Bluey on the Switch though.
Oh.
But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's not something I would primarily play through, but it's neat to see that it works, and to have the option.
Yeah.
I just think it's very fascinating. One con for it outside of the latency, you can't really turn off your controller because you don't like hold the gym down and then it pulls up the turn off controller button.
You just gotta like pop out the batteries?
You just have to pop the batteries out. So it's like, this kind of sucks.
That's funny.
But no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then what else did I do? Still watching Cobra Kai. I just really appreciate how corny that show is and that it leans into that. I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm reading a book called The Angel Maker. It's a horror, thriller, mystery. I'd say horror mystery. Pretty good so far. It's written by a guy named Alex North. I've read his other 2 books. It's a pen name. His real name is Stephen Mosby. I'm sure he doesn't really want people ripping
Mr.
that
Mosby?
into the... Yeah, Mr.
From
Mosby.
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Yeah, that's what I always think of. And then I didn't talk about it last week because I didn't feel like I had spent a ton of time with it, but I've been playing Dragon Age, the Veilguard. I'm sure if you've looked at the internet, there's people complaining about pronouns and...
My character isn't sexy enough.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to go into like a deep dive on that, but I will say this. As it pertains to the non-binary stuff that I know has bothered some people. In my experience with the game, the 6 or so hours I've played, that stuff is completely optional to engage with. You do not have to engage with it. At one point, your character looks in a mirror and it pops up and it says, "Do you want to look at it this way?" And it's like, "Nope, okay." And then it just never mentions it again. So it's like, it's not a thing. It's no different than, I'd say, Baldur's Gate. And people didn't throw a fit about Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand. But, it's the internet and people get mad about things. I get that.
Starfield, too.
Yeah, and Starfield. That's a good point. Here's what I will say about this game. From a writing and storytelling perspective, to where I'm at, it's pretty meh.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's what every game like this is, I feel like.
Okay.
It's, oh, we set up this veil so these things couldn't get out. And then this guy, he has this grand idea to open the veil and they get out and you have to help put them back
way.
in. And it's like, okay, like we've seen this story.
How'd he get out?
We've seen this story, you know, a million times in games and books and TV shows. And it's that, right?
Yeah.
But what I will say is this combat is intoxicating.
Really?
Dude, it is so fun. It is so fun to play. I get pissed when I have to go talk to people because all I want to do is kill stuff. Like, I just want to run around and fight. I don't even want to...
What class are you?
I chose the rogue.
Oh, I should have guessed that.
Well, I was going to choose the sword and shield guy, the warrior. But I was curious how the rogue would play with the backstory I wanted to choose because it didn't feel like the warrior would fit it. So I went with a rogue, which, yeah, you probably could have guessed that.
I just knew you weren't going to pick the mage mainly.
Yeah, no, I would be curious to see how that plays, though, with this system because it's, I don't know, it feels so good. So, like, run around with a broadsword and a dagger, and I'm just like, and I got a bow, soften
Mage is
things
like,
up. Yeah, this is like, bang!
That's what I say when I cast fireballs. And
Bang.
That's what my spell, every spell is just bang.
Yeah. But no, the combat's really, really fun. For you guys, I do have this game physically on my PlayStation. So when I beat it, if you guys want to borrow it and check it out, you're more than welcome to. It's really, really fun to play.
Nice.
And I've played recently. I tried to play Dragon Age Inquisition. This has been last year sometime, and I remember just not liking that combat system. So this is a huge improvement for them. The combat system in Inquisition was so much I couldn't play it. Like I didn't like it. It felt bad to play. This feels awesome. I love it. It's very akin to I would say Anthem meets God of War.
Ooh.
Is kind of how it feels.
Oh yeah.
It feels pretty fluid. There's some times where it feels clunky. I mean, BioWare is not a studio known for that.
Yeah.
They're very much a story studio. So this is definitely an upgrade and a chance for them. I'll say in my experience, it's been really, really fun. Some of the movement's a little clunky, like when you have to jump to things, it doesn't really work. So that's kind of frustrating at times. But all in all, I'm having a good time with it. I keep coming back to it, which is always a good sign.
Yeah.
So I haven't wanted to get away from it. So I'm trying to make time to play it. I'm like, I got to get to that. I want to get to this. I want to get to that. But yeah, I mean, from a story perspective, it's pretty whatever. It's fine. It's not bad. It's just, it's the story you've seen before. I mean,
you got to get the thing to do the thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, oh, now we got to
Before
go
they
get
do the
this
thing.
dagger. And then we get the dagger. And oh, wait, there's more daggers. Okay, well, now we got to get more daggers. And then we got to build our team. And it's, I don't know. They do a few things that are pretty cool within it. Mm-hmm. But overall, what it is trying to do, where the story's going.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear right away. You're like, oh, okay. I think I know what this is. But no, man, I've enjoyed what I've played of it.
That third act twist that makes you go, whoa, whoa,
Dude, I hope so. I've heard the third act is really good.
Ooh.
Actually.
Is it going to be a third act like Baldur's Gate where it's an entirely new game?
No, I think the game's total run is between 25 and 35 hours.
Baldur's Gate, fun fact, Baldur's Gate 3 is called that because it's actually just 3 games. Area 1, Area 2, and Area 3.
Bum, bum.
That was a lie, by the way. I lied.
Oh.
It's called Baldur's Gate 3 because it's the third one.
How dare you do this
Wanted
to
to
me?
clear that up.
How
Because
dare you do this to me?
Journalistic integrity.
It's part 3. There is not a part 4 announced yet.
Okay. Are you sure?
Will you need an announcement, or you lower your rating if they don't announce next parts?
I'll retroactively adjust my rating.
And I'll retroactively punch you in the groin. Full Draymond.
I welcome it.
Nope. But that's all I've done.
Sweet.
Sorry, I went a little
have
long
you-
there. But
No, you're good.
I feel like I asked this last week. Have you beat Lake House?
no, I haven't. And I don't know why.
It's not scary season anymore, so you're like, gotta wait till next year.
No, I think Dana got me Dragon Age, and I kind of fell off of it.
Yeah.
But it's only been a week or two, so I can get back on and beat it really quick, I'm sure. I'll try to get that done this week so I can talk about it.
No,
Have you touched it yet? You haven't bought the
Haven't
expansion.
smelt it.
Yeah, I'll try to get back to that this week and finish it. Because what I've played of it, I've really liked. It's not as scary as the nursing home, though.
Not yet.
I don't think it's.
Just wait till that grandma shows up again.
Yeah.
Turn off console.
Dude, she shows up and I'm like, that's like what's holding me back from playing the final draft or final whatever. I'm scared, man. I don't want to do that part again. That part is brutal. Like, I was like legit terrified playing that. That was the most scared I've been playing a video game, I think.
Crazy.
Most I've been scared playing a video game, I wasn't even playing it. I was watching a video you were playing.
That tends to happen.
Actually, this is actually the most scared I've ever been playing a video game. I might have told this story on here, but it's a good story. So, freshman year of college, my roommate had a projector, and we hung a bedsheet in our room. So, I decided to download Game with Gold Dead Space.
Oh, nice.
Heck
And
yes.
played it
Good game.
on about a 200-inch screen. Turned off the lights for fun, and I walked into a room, and then something reached out and grabbed me, and I screamed. I turned on the lights, and I quit playing. It probably wasn't even supposed to be a scary moment. I was just like, I can't do this.
Like, nope. No thanks.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Too many creepy crawlies in that for me.
Dead Space was the first one that like really got me too. Like the first horror game I played. So,
Dead Space is good.
It is.
The remake was free on PS Plus, and I downloaded it, or
Oh.
I added it to my library,
Yeah.
so I have access to it, and I want to play it at some point.
Nice.
Because I've heard the remake that they did was actually really good. It was Motive.
Wasn't it nominated for like Game of the Year?
It was nominated for something last year, yeah.
Best remake? Is that a category?
No. It
Probably should be.
Yeah, it should be. But
At this point in the
Best
industry's life.
remaster.
yeah, no.
Sony's gonna have like 10 games up for it. They remaster every single
do.
They just remaster their
The Last
catalog.
of Us 1 remaster part 4.
It'll be Horizon Forbidden West remaster.
Good game though.
And God of War Ragnarok remaster.
Oh, good game.
I agree. You guys ready for
But when are
that
they
God of
gonna-
War announcement at the Game Awards? It's coming, baby.
For like the next game or the
Yep,
show?
the next game.
Yes.
The show.
Next game, yes.
The show is, I mean, they just got their new showrunner, so
Yeah.
they're definitely not ready to show
No,
anything.
not yet.
No, dude, they've been working hard these past 2 weeks.
Woof.
They've been grinding.
That would spell disaster if they had an announcement at the Game Awards. I'd be like, that's not good.
Oh,
They're gonna have a video and be like, "Look, we finished the first page of the script.
It's just a sticky noted script. You're like, what?
We've been playing the game. They got sticky notes on their TV.
It's it's just a whiteboard with like the game layout with all the sticky notes, but all of the sticky notes are blurred.
Yeah. And in reality, there's nothing
There's
on
just
them.
nothing on them.
It's just all for...
We finished the tutorial. Look at all these notes we got.
And then, like,
Just insert the
they hit
gif of
pause,
it.
and it's the Elden Ring menu, and you're like, wait, what?
Just insert the gif of the "It's Always Sunny." The
Oh, yeah. With the
conspiracy
yarn.
theory.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, hey, let's get out of these good people's hair. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Go see Wicked.
Go see Wicked. We'll see you next week.